So it's the morning of October 11th, 1988. It's a Tuesday. Dr. Kimble, after having had a conversation at the Summit Heights Bed and Breakfast with CARRADINE, is heading to Harrisburg, to the address originally given of 102 Pine Street, which is ostensibly the location of the Mozart Private Investigative Agency. You head east out of Summit Heights, following the map that you had picked up on your way from Maryland, and after about an hour and a half, you make it to Harrisburg. It takes you a little bit of driving around. Give me a navigate roll.
Motherfucker. Yeah, because I'm good at that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I do realize the one time I failed navigate, I never clicked it, so it's still base.
Oh, nice. Well, yeah, go ahead and roll it.
Okay. Oh my god. What the fuck? That's a critical success. That's a 1? Under 10?
Well, per the homebrew rule, go ahead and add 4 to that. Holy shit.
What the fuck?
You are just so laser focused on getting done what you want to get done, and having had the conversation you have with CARRADINE, you find it. It takes you no trouble at all. You, despite the previous 24 hours, or the previous 48 hours, considering you got to Summit Heights on the 9th, you pull up with the address given and you see that it is, well, if the Mozart Private Investigative Agency is at this address, it's part of another building. So it's like inside, like you have to walk into a lobby, and you walk into an individual door that's inside. You pull up in your Beetle and uncrumple your form, and you head inside. It has one of those frosted, tempered glass windows on the door, and you can see movement on the inside, like a person.
Right. Kimble will rap it with the back of his knuckles. Just quick knock.
The person on the inside, or the figure on the inside, stops moving and seems to turn and look in your direction. You hear a faint, muffled voice from the other side saying, "Who is it?"
David Greenbelt.
"It's unlocked. Come in."
He does so.
So yeah, you open the door, and it does say Mozart Private Investigative Agency in lettering on this tempered glass window. And you walk in, close the door, and it is very much furnished like it would be some sort of detective agency. There are a bunch of desks scattered around, a bunch of filing cabinets. There's a red carpet, not bright, but it's like more of like a dark red carpet that kind of runs throughout the whole thing. And the man that had spoken to you, he's shorter than you, but you could also tell that he's probably about 6'1", has gray hair, and is wearing a black turtleneck sweater and brown cargo pants and black boots. Has blue-gray eyes. And he says to you, "Have a seat right over there." And he points to a desk with a phone on top of it. And he moves to another desk with a phone on it. This is not CARRADINE, because the voice does not match.
Mm-hmm. Kimble will listen. Yeah, he'll go over to the desk, sit down.
He'll be calling shortly.
Rufus just nods.
So about 10 minutes will go by. He doesn't speak to you at all.
Yeah, that's fine.
Your human is high enough. The man's got hard features on his face. Like, this is a man who's seen some shit. If he's part of the group, he's a veteran.
If he's in contact with CARRADINE, yeah, that makes sense.
So, the phone rings. The man sitting across from you points to your phone, because that's the one that's ringing.
Picks it up.
And he also picks it up, and you see him hit a button on it, so that way he's able to listen in as well. CARRADINE, it is now your time to speak and say things.
Hello?
CARRADINE?
Dr. Kimble.
You're aware there's a second person listening into this call?
I am. I trust it.
Okay. I have a proposition.
Okay.
More clearly, I'm reopening the Mulberry Ward for long-term cases.
Are you going to do this with or without us?
Yes.
Interesting.
I'm tired of being a liability. The last fieldwork has been enlightening in terms of my inadequacies. I would like to help in the ways that I can best do so.
You're calling yourself a liability. How so?
Well, narcolepsy aside, I'm not trained with firearms. I am slow and big and fat, and I survived this last mission, but not everyone did.
I'm surprised you haven't diagnosed yourself with this. Something that we come across somewhat commonly in my line of work. Survivor's Guild. Why don't you take a couple of months and before you try and reopen something like this, take some time and think about it. Maybe get some skill training if you feel like you're deficient in some way. Go build yourself up a bit.
This is me doing that. I'm not opting out of field work. I'm asking for time.
Hold on one moment. Set the receiver down on the desk in front of you.
He will do so.
CARRADINE, I would like you to make me a human roll vis-a-vis your emissary, sitting across from Dr. Kimble, please.
That's a really interesting mechanic. That's so funny.
Okay.
66 under 79.
Just to see, because it's possible you could critically succeed as well, Dr. Kimble, roll me a persuade roll. We'll consider this opposed.
Fuck. 67 under 80, and in any other case, that would be a success, except for the fact that a 66 is a critical success. Suffering from success.
Dr. Kimble, as you sit at this desk and having put the phone receiver down, you take a look at the man across from you, who is listening intently. Then he squints his eyes at you and he's studying you intently. And then he says, without any emotion in his voice, yes. There's another few moments of silence as you can't hear the other side of the conversation of what CARRADINE is telling this man. But then the man sitting across from you says, you can pick the phone back up.
He does so.
Dr. Kimble?
Yes.
Okay. Could you tell me how Special Agent Vince Peterson died? This is a secure line.
The unnatural figure that we were dealing with reached into his body, made wires of his intestines, connected him to the ground, and he begged for us to kill him, and Eddie Vittorio did so.
How did that make you feel?
It didn't. On a base level, it concerned me, but the shot also killed the entity, and we were able to leave swiftly. I feel it's damaged cohesion with the team, but I don't necessarily feel devastated or significantly impacted. I've seen death before.
I'm well aware that you've seen death before. To what end would reopening Mulberry benefit the group?
Similarly to how it did in the 50s and late 40s, I suppose. I've been taking short-term work from the group, I'm sure you're aware of it, working with agents as they come home, taking care of individuals when it's needed. I am not so presumptuous to think that the group doesn't have any other safe houses, treatment facilities, contacts, but I also don't think it could hurt to have more. It's been 18 years since Bryce died. It's been a long time since I've done any direct work of the kind for the group, even though the ward closed in 56. I kept him until he passed.
And we appreciate that.
He wasn't too difficult to take care of.
For the record, I am not aware of any facilitation of rest homes for those who have been touched by the unusual or unnatural. But what does concern me, when was your last connection to the Director of Technical Services for the CIA?
Interesting question. How does that apply?
MK Ultra. It's already caused us enough problems.
Right. He wouldn't be involved in this if that's the concern. Mulberry was always my project.
Are there any loose ends that need to be tied off in Summit Heights?
Fuck. There's two ways I could go here. I could either lie to my case handler. I'm gonna roll luck. If it's under 50, I'm going to tell CARRADINE. If it's over 50, I will not. So that's a 98 over 50, so Kimble just goes, no, it's all taken care of.
Set down the phone again.
Fuck off. Yeah, he'll do so. Let's do contested.
Oh, it's not a critical this time. Let's see. 37 under 79.
I got a 66 under 80.
Dr. Kimble, you set the phone down, and again, the man across from you seems to study you intently, listening to what CARRADINE is asking him on the other side of the phone. And in a neutral tone, the man replies, yes. And then he says to you, you can pick the phone back up.
He does. Testing to see if I'm telling the truth, CARRADINE.
Would I be a good case officer if I didn't?
You have me there?
So, if you're going to do this without us, reopening Mulberry, that is, to be explicit, who would it be benefiting?
Well, I'm offering it as a benefit to the group. I will also be continuing my research in larger, better facilities. So that will benefit me, the scientific world, etc.
I guess I'm just trying to figure out that if nobody is sending you anyone, then why would you reopen this ward? If my approval comes back and says the group is not interested in you reopening this, we would continue to send them to the other potential locations that may or may not exist instead of to yours.
Well, you've said that they don't exist.
To my knowledge, if I'm read into it.
That's fair. I've been in the psychiatric field for a long time. You know of my connections with the CIA. I'm a useful asset to many people. I've conducted a lot of research. Some of it teeters on ethical grounds. Mulberry's useful, not just to the group, but to others. I'm offering it potentially as a spot for the group to utilize. If they don't wish to, that's fine. I'll use the space as I see fit.
As for the first part, given your connections to human experimentation, regardless of your level of involvement or non-involvement, I have reservations about you reopening Mulberry, and I will be voicing those up the chain of command that may or may not exist. And I will also be asking about any leave of absence off of rotations, insofar as next available team for an operation. I will say on that front, we are very stretched, and more than likely I cannot guarantee anything. There was a reason you were put in for field work, and I'm not inclined to pull you back, but I will ask.
Okay. I'll take what I can.
We all do. Let's see. You mentioned others that might be interested in the knowledge you glean from Mulberry work. Would you care to elaborate on who the others would be? I know you said scientific knowledge, but I'm specifically asking about the others that you mentioned.
Shit. God damn it. Yeah, I'm just thinking about how I'm going to respond, because how I will respond will set up the rule.
Honestly, at this point, I'm not even going to tell him to put the receiver down. I'm going to say,
Stay on the line. Mr. Black, is he telling the truth?
Well, I haven't said anything.
Keep your eye on him and tell me if he's lying about who these others are.
Fuck. Motherfucker. Shit. I have to be really careful here, so just give me a second to think how I'm
Oh, no, that's fine.
Because this is dangerous. we are in dangerous territory.
Which, by the way, what is your persuade normally, Caius, for Dr. Kimble?
It's 80.
Yeah, there's going to be a negative 20 to this next roll for you.
Why?
You're actively trying to lie.
and I know you're actively trying to lie.
Yeah, I've been lying every single time.
This is informing some behind-the-scenes stuff that you're not going to be privy to
Damn.
at the moment, so...
Why is it penalty? Fuck off.
Yeah.
Shit. Fuck. How does he respond?
The critical allowed me to use some knowledge that I had on the periphery, and that's why I've been able to hone the questions a little more.
I mean, Kimble... Here's the thing. Like, he knows that the streams, I mean, for lack of better phraseology, the streams here really shouldn't be crossing, because even if potentially, like, Outlook and the group are connected, he doesn't want to bring up either to the other, just in case they're not, or somebody's not read in a certain way. So, I don't think I can answer that, CARRADINE.
Then why don't I have Mr. Black shoot you right now?
I don't think he will do that.
Mr. Black, draw your gun. If I give you the order, you will pull the trigger.
The man across from you, Dr. Kimble, reaches into the small of his back and he pulls out a Colt 1911 pistol.
Answer the question, Doctor.
He doesn't do anything flashy, just takes it out and he just has it sitting, like, in his free hand on his lap with his finger off the trigger and doesn't say a word.
Oh, God. Fuck me. I think Kimble's just going to stay silent and wait. So this man has pulled a gun out and it's resting on his lap, and Kimble is just listening.
The read that you get off of him, the man named Mr. Black, Dr. Kimble, is he's relaxed.
Yeah, he's just a good soldier.
Calm. And you think he wouldn't miss.
Yeah, he's just gonna do what CARRADINE asks him to do.
Who are the others? They'll be interested.
Oh, fuck me. Running.
You may not have a choice but to reveal who the other people you're working for are.
I don't know a lot of them, though.
You have a name. That's enough.
Well, I'm not giving that name. Can I ask, CARRADINE, why it matters who my scientific cohort is?
Because there are lines that do not get crossed, Dr. Kimble. The unnatural should be destroyed and kept from public life. It doesn't get a chance because it doesn't give us a chance. Vince died because of the unnatural. It didn't give him a chance. He didn't give himself a chance. He knew what was coming. And if you try to exploit that, you're going to end up like him. Or you're going to end up dead in the chair that you're sitting in. Or we can walk away and everything's fine. Please, I beg you, don't make yourself an enemy of the group.
What will permit me to walk away?
You answer who the others are who are interested in this knowledge. I'm all in favor of helping those who have seen the unnatural and not been able to recover. But I know who we are. If it's easier, just give me names.
Dr. Kimble, there's a clear choice here.
Yeah. No, I know. There's a couple names I could give. He's just trying to think of who he could throw under the bus here.
Well, there is one obvious one. The man who gave you your Orexin shot.
So, regarding the Orexin shot,
Yes.
I have quite a good backlog of the medication.
Yes.
Do I feel like I could replicate it?
You don't know. It would take time.
With time. I have a 50% in pharmacy. I have a 60% in chemistry.
Okay. Yeah, it would take time and it would take some rolls.
Okay. Kimble sighs. Well, for his sake, I hope he already works with the group. Dr. Armand Perov.
Mr. Black,
Yes.
is he telling the truth?
And I will roll.
Do I do contested? Oh, is this like...
This would be like to see if he's holding anything back.
I'll also roll a persuade just to see if maybe I crit fail or something. Okay, I got an 87 over 80.
And so, per the rules, when there's two failures, they basically... The lower one technically is a success here in this case. So, Mr. Black says to your question of, is he telling the truth? Yes.
You can put your gun away, Mr. Black. Thank you for your service on that front.
Understood. For your part, Dr. Kimble, you see the man being referred to as Mr. Black put his 1911 back into the small of his back, and he relaxes a little bit, continuing to hold the phone up to his ear.
If he doesn't work for the group, what does that mean for him and for me, I suppose?
Truthfully, that's not up to me to decide. I wouldn't worry too much about it, but keep your nose clean. Following on that track, are there any others other than Dr. Perov?
Not that I've worked with. Listener, this is a lie?
Yeah, but 2 failures on a human in a persuade opposed test. That's all CARRADINE is able. CARRADINE has a name.
Mm-hmm.
He'll say,
Well, I appreciate this chat. Like I said, I will take it upstairs and see what they say. You'll hear through one of our normal contact methods as to whether or not this has been approved on both counts.
I wonder if CARRADINE notices or thinks about the fact that Kimble didn't fall asleep when he had a gun pointed at him.
Oh, I mean, if you want to voluntarily fuck yourself.
I feel, okay, CARRADINE knows that Kimble has narcolepsy.
Yeah.
CARRADINE has heard from the Stonefall operation that Kimble has it bad.
Yep.
Like, he conked out for a while at, like, gunfire not at him. So, I don't know.
Although, now that you've just said that, Mr. Black is going to say, sir, he, didn't conk out like you said he might.
You put that so eloquently, Mr. Black.
Figured you would want to know, sir.
I do. Care to elaborate, Dr. Kimble, why you're still standing upright considering the amount of pressure we just put you under? Do we need to do it again?
I'm on a new medication regimen. It's helping.
Really? Did Dr. Perov provide it for you?
Hope we're going for a roll, I see. Wait, what is that?
ooh.
I did a 50-50, but I
Fucked it up?
subtracted 10 from it because... No, I purposefully subtracted 10 from it because I feel like it's less likely he would tell the truth about this. No.
Human. What the hell is wrong with me?
How did you get?
Yeah, that was a 97.
Over.
79.
Okay. Dr. Kimble, I thank you for your time, and I appreciate you driving all the way back up to Harrisburg for this meeting. We'll be in touch.
Okay.
Mr. Black, you're free to hang up the phone.
Understood, sir. And Mr. Black does just that, Dr. Kimble. He hangs the phone up, and you hang your phone up. And Mr. Black says, no hard feelings, I hope. I have my orders.
We all have a job to do.
Exactly.
Well, I hope I don't see you again. And he will stand up out of the chair.
Likewise, he says.
Extend his hand for a handshake.
Well, you would have to walk across the room. He's on the other side of the room if you wanted to do that.
Yep. Kimble will stand up out of the chair, walk to the middle of the room, so halfway, and stick his hand out for a handshake.
He doesn't get up. He just sits in the chair.
Kimble just goes, okay. Great. And we'll leave.
Okay.
He'll head back to his Volkswagen Beetle, and he will try to find a hotel somewhere close to Bedford, where he will stay for the next 2 days.
You don't want to
until
stay
he
in
gets a call
Harrisburg?
from Laura Stein. No, because this motherfucker's here. So he's gonna probably not in Bedford, but maybe the next town over. We'll look for a place to sleep.
Okay. For how long? Just for like a day?
He told Laura that he would be in town for 3 days.
Okay.
So he will be staying for 3 days, waiting for a call back.
Give me an alertness roll, Dr. Kimble. It's gotten good.
It's gotten pretty good because I keep failing. That's a failure. That's a 94 over 39. And that means I get to check it again.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Okay.
So, I want to kind of fast forward a few months into 1989, if that's okay.
Do we not want to deal with Stein?
She already agreed, if you recall, to come down.
She said she would call me
Oh.
and that, yeah, I would pick her up and...
Yeah, but
Yeah,
the number
she'd
you
page
gave her was for Rose Hill, so I mean, she would have to.
No, I gave her my pager number to page me so that I could get her, because I haven't told her where he is, so that I can pick her up, her and the boy up,
Okay.
and take them. I don't think he's gonna like forever kidnap them or keep them in.
Not after the conversation you just
lockup.
had.
No, but I think he legitimately does want to double check and make sure that this boy is maybe not going to remember things.
Okay.
Does he have access to... Because I know Outlook has done some stuff to do with memory. Does he maybe have access to any of that?
Ooh. I would say that would be some sort of a luck roll. Or do you have bureaucracy? I feel like it would still be at...
I do. I have a 50%.
Okay. I still feel like it would be at some sort of a penalty, given that, like, what they've given you is limited already. You know what I mean? And seeing if you could get more would be a difficult ask. But let me resolve the other thing first. So
Yeah. We'll get to it.
Dr. Kimble, you drive out of Harrisburg. You are, strangely enough, in desperate need of normal sleep. Not the kind of sleep that comes from stress, from narcolepsy. You go to a smaller town outside of Bedford, Pennsylvania, which is itself between Bedford and Summit Heights. And you rest for the night, rest for the day. You're more exhausted, naturally, than you expected yourself to be, given everything that just happened. The next day, on October 12th, you get a page from Laura Stein. You give her a call from your hotel room. She agrees to come to Maryland with you, along with bringing Jason. So you drive up back to Summit Heights, and, they have some belongings, some personal effects, some clothing, and you drive back to Maryland after that.
Yeah.
And during that period of time, there's nothing that seems to indicate that Jason is suffering in any way from what happened to him. Things seem fine, but you need to make sure.
Yeah.
How long do you think Laura and Jason will stay with Dr. Kimble? How long would you tell them?
I think he will house them actually in his own home, because this is a sanatorium for, like, adult women. So he has a guest bedroom, whatever. He'll have them stay there and then come into the office. I think for maybe a week and a half.
Okay.
Maybe it's like the 21st.
Okay. Yeah.
But he's doing evaluations with the kid. He's doing just a bunch of testing, some just talking, some art, like having Jason draw, seeing what he draws, evaluating it. And he wants to see if either he has something left over or he can request some type of medication or drug that would maybe alter his memory.
From Outlook?
From Outlook, yes.
So, given what we spoke about earlier, there's going to be two rolls. So give me a bureaucracy roll at minus 20%.
Damn. That is a critical failure. A 44 under 30.
Unfortunately, what you have from the Outlook group is already limited at best. So they haven't indicated or offered you any of their specific tailor-made memory-altering drugs, unfortunately. Okay. So that's not going to be possible.
Does he feel like, because psychiatric medication, it's a tricky field, right? But there are medications that can help or can scramble the mind, especially for children. I'm curious if he feels that he could make something that could, like...
Are you trying to drug the child?
He wants to figure out a way to maybe administer something that would either alter his memory or make him less sure of it going forward.
And remind me, you do have stuff in pharmacy?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he's got stuff in pharmacy and chemistry, and he was involved with MK Ultra, and he has a barrel of acid.
Yeah. So, okay.
My thought is it could be a micro dose of LSD given over the course of maybe about 3 days, just enough to make the mind a little confused.
Okay.
Just fiddle with that chemistry enough to where, as he gets older, he remembers a confused period of time.
Okay. So that straight up sounds like a pharmacy roll.
Or chemistry? Yeah.
No, this is dealing directly with drugs. So...
Okay.
This is going to be a pharmacy roll, and I hope and don't hope that you don't crit fail this.
Okay.
Okay.
That is a 13 under 50.
So you disappear to the underground lab for, let's just say, a few hours during that 1.5 week period of time. And you successfully come up with a microdose that, on the one hand, won't kill the kid outright or do something to him that would horribly cause an extreme reaction.
Yeah, it'll be enough to where, one of the things that's noted with LSD usage is that you can continue to have hallucinatory effects throughout the rest of your life. So he is trying to just give enough LSD, put enough into this kid's system that obviously he will hallucinate with the LSD now, but that it might continue happening as he gets older.
And you also do it in such a way that, let's be real, Dr. Kimble knows that there's no way in hell that Laura Stein is going to let you give her child, a 4-year-old child, LSD. So, I mean, you surreptitiously do this.
No. He's obviously he's providing the meals for this family because they're staying in his home. So, bedtime snack, pudding cup, perhaps. Just an incredibly small dosage of LSD in a pudding cup. Just right before he goes to sleep, and he has very vivid dreams. Enough to wear off by the morning.
Now, the next question that I have, would Dr. Kimble be taking them back up to Summit Heights on the 21st?
Yeah, he'll do that.
Okay. So as you are leaving the grounds of the Rose Hill Sanatorium to drive Laura and Jason back up to Summit Heights, and she's very grateful to be able to just... It's strange in a way. They've kind of treated it almost like a mini vacation with their son's protector, in a way. It's kind of how they seem to have felt about this whole affair.
There's going to be drawn pictures of Kimble on the fridge with like a cape on. And meanwhile, this kid's going to have schizophrenia.
I need you to give me an alertness roll as you're leaving the Rose Hill Sanatorium.
That's a failure at an 82 over
No, that's
39.
okay. So you drive back up to Summit Heights, and Laura, she says to you, listen, I understand why you had to... If I remember correctly, did you used your PI name with her, right?
Yes, and he continued doing that while he was at Rose Hill.
Alrighty then.
If he could have. I wonder, one second. I have to think how he would have... Yeah, I think he literally couldn't have done that. I think he would have had to explain, like on the drive there, that he did have to, for security reasons, use a different name, and that his work with the investigative agency is so clandestine that he's breaking security to bring her not only to where he lives and works, but to give her insight into his real name, his real address, all of these things.
Yeah. And Laura says to you, Dr. Kimble, I'm very grateful for what you and your team and yourself did to help give me my son back. Thank you. Thank you again.
Yeah, of course.
And she and Jason go back into her home, and you make the drive back to Maryland the same day. We're going to say that it's March 18th, 1989. It's a Saturday now. And it's been a whirlwind of a few couple of months, but you now find yourself driving up to the Rose Hill Sanatorium in Port Tobacco, Maryland, with the intent of seeing Dr. Rufus Kimble. The man has wealth is the first thing that immediately strikes you, and it also disgusts you in the same sort of thought. I mean, you think back to when you went to Harley Haney's house and how disgusted you were at his McMansion and how Dr. Kimble was nonplussed. Now it makes sense as to why.
Mm-hmm.
So you pull up to Dr. Kimble's house, and you see the familiar lavender-colored Volkswagen Beetle sitting out front on I imagine like a gravel pathway that kind of it goes off-road a little bit. But of course, there's like a pathway that you would walk to get to the sanatorium. And Scott Macallan, you pull up and you knock on the door.
And what day is it?
March 18th.
Saturday?
Yeah.
What time of day?
What time of day do you want it to be?
Me?
Yeah.
Or Scott?
Either or. If you can't decide, I'll say
it's
it's early morning, like maybe
No, I mean I can definitely decide. I'm just okay if it's early
like
morning.
10. I was
okay,
thinking
one second,
10.
I'm trying to- so if it's a Saturday at 10,
Uh-huh.
let me roll a luck to see if he has a client
Okay.
because he does
Mhm.
have at-home clients.
Big colonial manor, but he lives in a shack.
It's not a shack. It's a very
it's a-
nice
no, it's-
home.
mhm.
It's just this thin, tall. It's very tall. Like the ceilings themselves are quite tall, but also it's a couple stories.
A necessity for a man like Rufus. He needs tall ceilings.
He does, yes. Okay, let me roll that luck roll to see. If it's under 50, he's free. No. so Scott knocks the door and has to wait a couple minutes, and then he sees this through the like glass paneling on the door. There's just a little strip. He sees darkness moving, and then it opens, and you see Rufus in like a corduroy, comfortable-looking suit, but he's in a suit. Scott, I have a client that I'm seeing right now. Could you? Is it an emergency? Can you give me 30 minutes?
Yeah, that's fine. It's a nice day out. I'll be out here.
Sure. Yeah, if you had to run to the backyard, I have a bench swing on the trees out back, so you can wait out there or
Yeah, that sounds.
whatever.
It sounds good.
All right. And he'll shut the door, continue with his client. Just a young, new mother dealing with a lot of anxiety. So he just wraps that up fairly quickly, sends her on her way, and after about 30 minutes, Scott will hear the back door, and Rufus will just wave at you.
Yeah, Scott will get up and smooth out his clothes and walk in. He's actually thinner than he used to be. He's not been sleeping or eating well these past few months.
Yeah, he doesn't look great.
Can I get you a coffee, some food, anything?
A coffee would be great. Yeah, thank you.
Cream, sugar?
Black, just black, please.
All right. Yeah, Rufus will go into a small kitchen. It's in very 60s decor. A lot of his home is this kind of amalgamation of 50s to 60s furnishings. It doesn't look like anything's been updated for a couple decades, but it's very clean. There's lots of places to sit. It's very colorful. Lots of books around. So he comes back out after a couple minutes with a little tray with some coffee and a couple bagels as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. You if you'll pardon me being so blunt, you don't look so well.
No, I'm not doing well at all.
So is that what you're here to talk about?
Among other things, yes.
All right. Well, I'll have a seat. Anywhere is fine. What can I do for you?
You can tell. You don't even need. You probably, your human's so high, you probably won't even need to roll. You can see Scott is like his eyes are like he is like starting a fire in his head. Like his eyes are moving so fast, trying to think of basically like trying to get all of his words in order.
Right. Yeah, Rufus he'll wait. He'll sip at his cup of coffee, which I think even in your state you would notice like that's interesting that he's drinking coffee now, and he'll just wait.
So, finally composing himself, Scott's. Well, I won't mince words. I got dealt a pretty crushing personal blow months back. Right when we were leaving that last thing in Pennsylvania, I took a detour up north to Ockham, Massachusetts. I was looking to get a position there at Miskatonic University. A position, I should tell you, I was not only qualified for, but they had a spot open. It was perfect. And those bastards said they didn't want me. They decided that whatever I did in the past made it so I just wasn't a viable option.
Do you want to talk about what you did?
What I did doesn't matter. Not anymore.
Okay.
What matters is that people can't seem to recognize how much I bring to the table. Nobody seems to recognize how much depends upon me.
And what does depend upon you, in your estimation?
Oh, you still sitting here for one, Doc. I'm not gonna mince words on that.
That's true. You had the right idea with the signal realm. That's why I went to you.
Yes. And, it's been a long time coming, but I'm sorry I hit you back there. That was,
It's understandable. You are under a lot of stress, and sometimes it takes me a while to realize. He thinks for a second. People care about different things than I do, and we were working together. I have a different way I speak to clients versus coworkers, and I often don't have coworkers, or at least not ones that I don't oversee. So it can take me a bit to get used to keeping ethical boundaries and differences in mind.
right. Well, even so, that does bring up a cogent point. It's been, well, two things. I've been angrier recently. I've been lashing out at things a lot more than I used to. I know there's one thing, a major source to my anger. A fucking roadblock. A ball and chain around my ankle preventing me from moving forward.
What would that be?
That would be my girlfriend's father. He's an unwell man. He's suffering from some kind of intense, aggressive dementia. She says it's Alzheimer's, but I'm not so sure.
What makes you question that diagnosis?
When he's not himself, he seems to drift off to... It's not as if his brain is just full of holes. He seems to become something else entirely. And
Rufus
at the very...
leans forward at that, interlaces his fingers. How so?
Glossolalia. But it's not just gibberish, it is language. I can tell that much.
Well, if you would like me to offer a second opinion, I can do so. Is that what you're asking for?
That is, and perhaps if you find his case to be intriguing, the opportunity to study a novel form of early onset aggressive dementia. Elena's a good
Well-
woman, Doctor. She's not a nurse. She's not a psychiatrist. She doesn't know how to help her father the way he needs help. And I think you can.
Well, as I'm sure you're aware, Rose Hill is a women's sanatorium. However, I do have a long-term residential ward to deal with these kinds of cases, and I am less restricted there. So, if you can, bring him by. I'm happy to evaluate him, happy to house him if need be.
I think that would be good. I think that'd be in everyone's best interest.
And then, perhaps, if you're comfortable with it, maybe we can speak again about your anger. Try to find something to maybe mellow it out. Techniques, medications.
Yeah, it's been... Speaking of Elena, it's been tough with her. She is probably the only thing holding me together at this point, but even so, it's been hard on her too. And I'm afraid of hurting her. I don't just mean emotionally.
I figure any woman who loves you is pretty damn strong. And I think you're not fool enough to lay your hands on her. However, I do think you're fool enough to love her, knowing that, frankly, Scott, Dr. Macallan, should I say, this line of work doesn't breed good results. It doesn't breed happy marriages, doesn't breed long lives. It sounds like she can take that. Can you?
I'd like to think so, but I'm also... Out of everything I'm sure of, that's the one thing I'm not.
What would make you certain that you could or couldn't stand the reality of your situation?
I think the only thing would be to experience it. Because until that point, we're dealing in hypotheticals. I can play that situation a million times in my mind and still come to the wrong conclusion.
How do you prepare for these operations mentally?
I tell myself that I'm the only one who can stop whatever horrible thing is going on from growing out of control. That it is my duty to protect the working people of this world from whatever horrors exist beyond our comprehension.
So you self-aggrandize, you focus on ego, on what only you can do.
Is it
I'm
ego
not-
when it's true?
I'm not dissuading it as a method of centering yourself. I'm just trying to get clarity.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Do you feel like this hurts or helps your relationship with Elena?
She's the only one who sees me for who I am. She understands my value and I understand hers. We work well together in that way.
Do you think you can separate your ego from your anger?
I'm not so sure, Doc. I think more than anything, my anger, the anger that's justified, stems from knowing how badly I've been slighted. Knowing how much more I deserve.
And what do you deserve, Dr. Macallan?
I deserve to be treated like the leader I am. I deserve to see a world where what's right, what we all know is right, comes to fruition.
And if that is not fulfilled, can you accept it?
No. I don't think I can. I don't think I ever will be.
Well then, Scott, I recommend you use this sense of divine or fated purpose and deservingness as a fire beneath you, and also as a tempering force. Because if you rage and you fight and you're angry, well, consider if it hinders you in moments where clarity is necessary. Use it as a driving force, not as the sole motivator. There's more to you than fury. There's more to you than fire. And you're useful when your head's in the game.
Yeah. Alright.
Bring the father over. I will look and see if I can maybe find a medication that could help you. If I can't, then we'll just keep talking and just breathe, okay?
Yeah. Alright.
Well, it was lovely seeing you, Dr. Macallan.
And you likewise, Dr. Kimble.
So we're going to fast forward a few months into 1989. And have you begun constructing?
Yes. So Mulberry Ward it already was constructed, right? It's this massive subterranean complex, if you will. But he's going through now and he's pouring funding into renovating it. You know, he's obviously come down here and worked and done some short-term work for Outlook and even for the group. But the hospital beds, the ICU-like section is up to date. But the residential areas are not. So that is what he's going to be focused on. Renovating and ensuring it's up to his standard.
Mechanically,
Yes.
I feel like, what would this be?
Can I make an argument for back to nature? Because he is secluding himself, and he's doing something that, like, this is peaceful to him.
The thing is, though, is that, I mean, would people be brought in to help with this sort of thing, to renovate? Because you would need, like, a construction crew of some sort, so you wouldn't necessarily be by yourself, you know?
Honestly, I don't think he would. If the group is not helping, and if Outlook, I don't know if this will probably be a role, if Outlook won't send their own, then he will be the one doing
Let me
this
make
work.
a luck roll real quick to see if, in your endeavors to try and get this off
Maybe
the
for
ground,
each.
we can say that Dr. Kimble reached out to Outlook, and let's see.
Yes.
I'm gonna make a roll.
Hey, I know that I ratted them out, but like, come on.
Yeah, so I want to resolve the Outlook thing first. When you reached out to Outlook originally to get any sort of assistance with this new endeavor, your calls went unheard. Nobody got back to you.
Okay.
And then, over these period of months, I'm going to make another luck roll to see if the group approved the decision. So, 1 second. So, nothing on that front either. So,
Okay.
you're solely going at this alone at this point.
Yes.
Doing it despite the threats made to your life all those months ago in October in Harrisburg.
Yes. He will loop in his best friend, Okime Clark, who does have some experience in manual
Okay.
work, and that he trusts not to look around too deeply. But yeah, it will be pretty much just him most of the time. I mean, again, most of this is already built. It is just a matter of renovating it and making sure that, you know, the lights work and that there's enough storage, like enough food stored down here, that there's extra medication stored. He's just stocking up.
Didn't you... Oh, wait a minute. Didn't you project onto Ukemi at some point?
Yes, a little bit.
So,
So yeah, I'm sure it sucks for him to be like, oh, by the way, let's hang out. Do you want to help renovate this massive underground complex?
I was going to say that maybe this would be a chance to rebuild that bond a little bit, to get that back up.
Oh, interesting.
It would be fulfill responsibilities. You're giving him and his people work, and that would be a good thing. So, I mean, you would need to roll a sand test, and success would improve that bond. So, would that be okay? I feel like that makes sense to a degree.
I can do that, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, go ahead and roll me a sand test to see if you can improve your bond with Ukemi Clark.
That's a success at a 14 under 58.
Sweet. All right, so go ahead and roll a 1d6.
That's a 5.
What's your bond with Ukemi currently?
He's at an 8.
What's your charisma?
14.
So you get to add 5 back to his bond.
So that's a 13.
Yeah, Ukemi is very happy to be getting the work, and you're happy to have it. Any ill will or any negative thoughts or feelings that you had towards him?
It's more like he felt, because Kimble obviously has an empathy problem, but spending time with people that when he leaves for missions, he gets further and further distanced empathetically and loses his compassion for the people around him. So essentially being stuck with his best friend in a box underground for months at a time, he'll start to remember that Ukeme is a person and that he cares about him to some extent.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And again, like I said, he's grateful for the work. He doesn't really question, you know? He just knows that you're going to pay him. And, I mean, things are starting to look good for Dr. Kimble and this recommissioned Mulberry Ward. You're a little frustrated that you can't bring this directly back to the group since you never heard back from them. And I mean, how else are you going to get people down in here who have been dealing with the unnatural to a degree? You know what I mean?
I'll tell you how.
Okay.
Kimble, during this process, he's not hearing back from the group. He's not getting shit from Outlook. He's going to call directly Sidney Gottlieb.
Gottlieb would direct you to people to do that. And it's strange because one thing is certain for Dr. Kimble. While you didn't hear back from the group about the Mulberry Ward and getting their help or approval to do it, and so you went ahead and did it anyway, by the time December of 1989 rolls around, you haven't been asked to go on a mission at all, which is something of a relief for Dr. Kimble.
Yeah.
So that part came through at least, or CARRADINE kept his word in that regard to keep you out of the field. But on the one hand, you tell me, I feel like that would worry Dr. Kimble a little bit, especially after what happened in May.
I think it does. I think Kimble, over the course of these months, starts to get a little paranoid. He's not hearing back from Outlook, so at this point he's probably working on developing a Rexon of his own, because he doesn't know if he'll be able to get any more. He's unsettled by the fact that he has lost so many contacts over potentially just that one 20-minute conversation on the phone, during which he was very careful. He's very glad to not be on field work, and he wishes desperately that he had never been called to do it.
Somewhere in the back of your mind, despite the fact that you charged ahead and did what you needed to do, you should have never had that conversation with CARRADINE. Something nagged you at the edges of your mind from time to time.
He only really feels safe when he's in Mulberry. Obviously, he isn't down there all the time. He has to go up. He's got 3 other units that he has to visit. He has so many patients to take care of. But whenever he's not underground, he feels like he's being watched.